Alright, how's this look here? Oh, real quick. Much better. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the video. So a few days ago I asked you guys to throw some questions at me on Twitter, whether it be something funny, camera related things, or just different questions to get to know me a little bit better. So I guess this would be our first kind of like a Q&A. So my idea behind it is my birthday was when you guys are watching this a couple days ago. It was on the 8th, and I thought it'd be cool to do kind of like a Q&A with 28 questions to get to know me a little bit better. So with all being said, let's get into the video. So you guys asked me a ton of good questions, but since I don't want this video to be like an hour long, there's a few that are a little similar, so I may group them together. And then also I'm just gonna try to move through these pretty quickly, but let's jump into it. Okay, so Noah asked, do you find that shorter videos are more viewer sensible than longer videos, 10 plus? So I feel like the sweet spot for YouTube videos are kind of between 8 and 15 minutes. I think there are exceptions to that, but that's kind of the general rule, at least that I'm gonna try to stick to, and I feel like is most successful. Great question though. Christopher, is a hot dog a sandwich? I'm gonna say no, because the bun is connected. So I don't know what that is. It's a bread trough for the meat. All right, my boy Chaos asked, if Twitch and YouTube demonetized, would you still create content for both platforms, and why? Okay, that is a great question. So first of all, I'm just gonna say right now, our YouTube is not big enough yet to be making any money off of it. So that kind of answers that question. I am creating these YouTube videos really for myself, for fun, for long-term goals, and not something that I want right away. If YouTube was my full-time job, it might change things a little bit, but since it's a side gig or, you know, just like kind of like a passion project, I would say that doesn't really change too much. Twitch, on the other hand, you know, I have been streaming now for like 8 months at this point, and I've only received 3 paychecks in that time, and it has not even made a dent in the amount that I've given back to other people or invested in my equipment and things like that. So would I create content on both platforms? I think I would. Twitch would probably become more of just like a hobby where I would just turn it on when I felt like it and not really kept to a schedule. But as far as YouTube goes, I think I'm always gonna create, and I'm always, I don't know, being a creative, I'm going to have that drive to want to create. So I don't know, that's kind of tricky, but hopefully I answered your question. Mamesy asks, when you decided to stream, vlog, did you have doubt, worry about taking that next step, or were you confident the entire time? If you doubted, how did you overcome that? So that's similar to a couple other ones, so I'll show those on screen here as well. But I definitely do want to touch on that. I think whenever you're attempting something for the first time, or something that you really are passionate about or want to be good at, and you just haven't taken that first step yet, I think it's totally normal to be nervous, and it's okay to be nervous. I definitely was, and I definitely doubted myself for a while. I know I've mentioned it before, but I originally wanted to start streaming on Twitch like 4 years ago, and I just never took that leap. And kind of similar thing with YouTube, you know, like obviously I've made videos and content for quite a long time, but I was just afraid to make that step to make stuff for myself, you know, whether it be being afraid of what other people I know will think of me, will certain people not support me, things like that, you know. But at the end of the day, and I feel like the older I've gotten, is we're kind of in this new age now where people are creating because they don't want to just work a 9 to 5 for the rest of their life. They kind of want to chase something that they're passionate about and they care about. If you're really passionate about something enough, at some point you're going to be willing enough to take that first step to that thing. And once you do, once you go live for the first time, once you put out your first video, it just gets so much easier. It just kind of snowballs after that. So yes, I was definitely nervous, had doubts. I still do sometimes, but the more you do it, the easier it gets. So if I have any suggestions for anyone else, just start going. Just start, and then it'll just get easier and easier as you go on. So great question, that's good. All right, so Noah he had a couple questions for me. This one's more serious. So when it comes to camera equipment, What's the best time and place to use the camera hood for filming? So if you guys aren't familiar with what a camera hood is, it's like a little hood that goes around your lens right here. So the technical reason why you use a lens hood is it basically just blocks out any stray light hitting the lens. So that could be the sunlight during the daytime. So you see a lot of people using a lens hood during that time, but not only daytime. You know, it could be street lights at nighttime or the moon, or right now certain lights hitting me like that. So kind of the general rule for photo and video, you want to learn the technical side of things, like why you should use that. And then once you do, don't be afraid to kind of break the rules. Like I honestly don't always use a lens hood, especially if I'm just vlogging. A little lens flare or a certain light catching the lens, it doesn't bother me. But you know, if you're on set of a movie, that might bother you. So it just kind of depends on what the video is gonna be or what the photo is gonna be. And then you just kind of go from there. But that's kind of the technical reason why to use it. But once you learn why, don't be afraid to kind of break the rules whenever you want. So yeah, great question though. Christopher asks, what's your daily routine, and in a world of distraction, what keeps you focused and moving forward? Wow, that's a good question. Maybe that's something I will do a video on someday, but I'll try to keep it pretty short. Okay, daily routine. I wake up, try to get some kind of caffeine in me, try to see my girlfriend before we both go to work, eat something, usually like some eggs or waffles, like protein waffles, something like that. Head off to work. I shoot video and photo all day at work. Usually I'll break for lunch. Right now, since I'm at the new job, I haven't been bringing my lunch a lot. So lately I've just either been going out to get like a quick burrito or smoothie on lunch, or we have catering a lot of days at work, which is pretty sweet. So I'll do that. Then work the afternoon. Probably 5 or 6 days a week, I try to do something active at least once a day. So a couple of days a week, I play basketball in the evenings. And then once my schedule is normal, not with the new job and the move going on, I do try to work out like 4 or 5 days a week too. So I'll go lift, things like that. Usually most nights, as long as me and my girlfriend don't have plans with other friends, we will try to do dinner together. And then I will figure out my stream schedule. I'll stream a couple nights a week. Now I'm working on YouTube videos a couple nights a week. So yeah, I guess kind of after work, I will work out, dinner, hang out with the girlfriend some. We have our date nights certain days a week, and then usually late nights with me streaming or working on my YouTube projects. And that's kind of it. 2 scoops of protein before bed, and that's kind of it for me. So nothing too crazy, but maybe I'll make a little video about that sometime. But good question. All right, Pulse asks, my boy Pulse asks, what's your best advice to gain traction on a platform and grow? Well, that is a great question. That's definitely something I'm still trying to learn. But working with different companies and different people that have bigger followings and helping create content for those platforms for them, you know, I do feel like I do have some experience with that already. Consistency is a big thing. Be your real self. And then quality is going to be a big thing. So if you kind of nail those 3, I feel like you have no option but to grow. So great question though. The Mug, my boy Tyler, he asks, Mug, does this answer your question? Literally first try. Get at me, bro. But no, okay, he had a second question. Nah, but for real, are the Elgato lights worth it? Okay, so I do have one Elgato light. It's actually lighting this right now. Right now I just kind of have it facing towards the ceiling, just kind of bouncing some light off me, but it normally retails for $200. For like an on-desk light, I do think it's a little overpriced, but there are some really nice things about it. It clamps to your desk so it doesn't take up floor space or anything like that. You can change the color temperature and the power of the light all from your computer, your Stream Deck even if you have it. So it's super convenient. I actually got it on Amazon Prime Day when it was $50 off. So I do want to get a big video light with like a softbox and all that, but that's like closer to $1,000. So spending $150 on a light is a lot better for me right now, and it's pretty good. Okay, Hurt Me asks, curious, outside of work, streaming, or gym life, what else do you like to do? Sports, biking, motorsports, fishing, hunting, girlfriends, any funny or embarrassing stories that you've never told us before? Wow, okay, that's a packed question. So outside of all that stuff, I am really big into basketball. I'm big into Ohio State sports. I'm a big Cavs fan. I'm a big LeBron fan. I have a LeBron tattoo actually, if you guys didn't know. But I pretty much either play basketball or hang out with my girlfriend and eat food together. I like to get drinks with friends. I like eating good food. I like to golf. I golf sometimes too. I don't know. Maybe I need some more hobbies. Okay, one funny, embarrassing story I can think of right off the top of my head. Actually, my girlfriend doesn't even know about this, but since we just moved into this place like 3 weeks ago, right? I was taking trash out to the trash can, and I walked back into the apartment. I thought it was our apartment. It was actually the neighbor next door. I'm sorry, neighbor. But yeah, that was pretty embarrassing. So, IMB Paula, where did your passion for creating content come from, and when did it start? Man, that's a good question. So growing up, I was always kind of around art. My sister was big into drawing and painting, kind of like the fine arts side of things. My mom was always artsy. She's like a writer, very creative. They would always drag me to museums and things around different cities whenever we'd travel around, but which I kind of hated, and I still kind of hate. But maybe that kind of helped develop my creative mind. I'm not sure. But the first thing that really sticks out to me is in high school, I got like one of those like flip cam videos. That was like in maybe 2007, something like that. And I remember me and my friends, we just started creating videos. It was just like kind of like stupid small videos, like jackass type stuff of us just messing around in the evenings or on the weekends, things like that. And I would edit them together in like iMovie and things like that. And that was just so much fun. It was our way of hanging out and kind of just documenting it. I'd never even thought twice about that becoming a career. I just liked documenting things and kind of telling a story and just remembering those times with friends and stuff. So I don't know, I've definitely just been around it my whole life, but that's kind of like the moment that really sticks out to me about just being like having fun creating stuff. And then it just kind of kept going from there. All right, so asked, now a serious question. What do you do for daily motivation to keep streaming and vlogging? There's definitely days when I'm not feeling motivated to stream or to vlog or anything like that, but whenever I do go live and all the love you guys show me is the reason why I keep coming back. And the same thing with the YouTube. I love creating and love creating for myself, but also knowing that other people enjoy it as well definitely is the motivating part of it. But yeah, also kind of the accountability of it. It's kind of fun to challenge yourself to see if you can put out 1 video a week or 2 videos, so on and so forth. But there's definitely days where it's hard, but if you kind of start, you end up kind of having a little bit more fun. Just the hardest part is getting started sometimes. Like right now, I was tired, I wasn't really feeling it. But since I've already started filming this video, I'm glad I did, and I'm just happy to kind of create stuff, you know what I mean? So, no, good question though. All right, Unicorn from Oregon, my dude. What would be the best beginner camera for someone to get into photography and can shoot videos? That's a good question. So we could make probably like an entire series of videos on what camera you should buy depending on what, but I kind of know your needs a little bit. I know you do want to start a YouTube channel and start vlogging. Hopefully you don't mind me saying that. But I would suggest if you're serious about it and you're serious about making good videos and photos, you probably want to get into like a DSLR, maybe it's some type of like a mirrorless camera these days. So I personally like Canon and Sony. It's really going to be a preference for what camera brands you like. Those are just what I have experience with and what I enjoy. So I would look at, for the Canon, I would look at like a T7i. That's a great camera, really good actually. You don't need a ton of lenses, you really just need something that's going to be a wide angle. I would just start with something like that. Or on the Sony side of things, like I think they just came out with the A6500, or you could look at like last year's model, like the A6400. So I kind of start there, but that's a very loaded question and everyone's gonna have a different answer. But those are just a couple of the suggestions I would have. So I'd start there and just kind of look around a little bit, but good question, man. Which is a 2-part question. When you hit your next sub goal, what are you going to do? I'm thinking a food challenge. What's your thoughts? Man, that's a good question. I haven't really set like a big sub goal for the channel. I have some really big goals for it, but I think like the first like big milestone would be 1,000 subscribers. So maybe once we hit 1,000 subs, we'd do something fun or some type of giveaway, something like that. I'd love to give back to you guys, but man, I don't know. Yeah, maybe 1,000. All right, Linguini asked, would you consider grapes a berry or a fruit? I thought berries were a fruit. Are berries really not a fruit? I don't believe you do. But if I had to choose, I guess I'm going to fruit because I think berries are a fruit too. What kind of a question is this? But no, good question, man. All right, Zubat asks, why is Machine Gun Kelly the best rapper of all time? JK, for real though. So how do you stay motivated to content create when there's days when you have no motivation to do so at all? So that is similar to the question I answered earlier, but just one more thing about that. You can't burn yourself out or just work yourself into the ground. You have to be realistic, and some days you do need a night off of just doing nothing or getting away from whatever it is. If you make YouTube videos, you need some time away from making YouTube videos. Just go hang out with your friends. Go, I don't know, bowling. Or just do whatever, you know what I mean? You need some kind of a hobby that isn't your profession or your passion project. You need something just to take your mind off things. So don't be afraid to do that. And then also, yeah, just set some type of a goal or schedule for yourself to keep yourself accountable. Okay, I need to put out 1 YouTube video a week, or okay, I need to stream 3 nights a week. Something to kind of just hold you to. And once you kind of get in the groove, you'll feel better, and I think it helps you kind of stay motivated to at least check off things on your own list, and that'll kind of help you feel a little bit more motivated and wanting to keep going. But yeah, good question, man. All right, Emery asks, would you rather only be able to use a fork, no spoon, or only be able to use a spoon, no fork? Wow. I guess I would rather use a fork, but the only thing I can think of that you really can't eat with a fork is cereal. And I love cereal, but man, I don't know. What can you not eat with a spoon? If I had to choose, I guess I'm going with a fork, but man, that's a messed up question. Outcast Jace, in your opinion, what's the best streaming microphone and camera? That is also a very loaded question that could be an entire video on its own, but quickly, I'll kind of give you my input. I don't think you need a DSLR or anything more than like a webcam to start streaming, or even be streaming for a good amount of people. Lighting is gonna be maybe the most important thing for your stream. Once you get everything dialed in and you have some extra money laying around, then you could invest in a camera. I wouldn't have started streaming with a real camera until later on. I luckily just had it already for other things, so I kind of just skipped that step and started using it. But I don't think a camera is necessary right away. I would start with like the Logitech C920 webcam. I think it's great. I would invest in a light before you're gonna like spend $1,000 on a camera. So that's what I would say for that. And then microphone, I have a Blue Yeti microphone. It's a USB microphone, so you don't have to worry about like having a mixer or anything like that that you would have with an XLR mic, which gets a little more complicated and a little bit more expensive. So I love that. I know some buddies who have the Blue Ember and the Blue Snowball. So yeah, Blue is a microphone company that I've used a little bit. I don't have a ton of experience with other mics, so if I had to suggest one, I would say maybe check out the Blue Yeti or just the different lines that they have. So Emo PNG asks, what do you think it takes to be a content creator? I don't think it takes much. Really, you just have to be willing to put your own work out there and not be afraid of feedback. That's really about it. Just kind of go for it and see what happens. And you know what? Some people are gonna love your work, some people are gonna hate your work, and that's just kind of the way it goes. And the more you do it, the thicker your skin will get, and the more you'll kind of just be able to brush things off. But I don't really think it takes much. There's no magic formula or anything like that. It's just creating stuff that you care about, and some people are gonna latch onto that. So if you're thinking about it, go for it. He says, we can go bigger. Is a Pop-Tart a ravioli? No. Is cereal a soup? No. How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? 60. Chaos here to finish it off. If you had to wear one stereotypical Halloween costume every day for the rest of your life, what would you be? By the way, just real quick, I did not have time to think through all these questions before I answer them, so these are really just all off the top of my head. I'd probably just dress as a cop so no one would fuck with me. Alright guys, so that's gonna do it. So I just want to thank you guys for all the good questions. I tried to get through most all of them. It should have been 28. I just figured since there is a lot of new people joining the community, I figured why not put out a video for you guys to get to know me a little bit more and ask me some questions, and we can get some good interaction going. So, by the way, check the pinned comment for a little question of the day. So, but yeah, let me know if you guys like this type of a video. I always like watching these kind of Q&A type videos from other content creators, so let me know if you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like, comment, subscribe. All those things really help the channel grow. Maybe even hit that little bell so you get notified next video that comes out. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace, guys. Yo, for real, mug, that I swear that was my first shot. I can't believe I made that. Let's go.